Hey folks, welcome to today's random encounter. Running a little bit late today, sorry about that. Yes, good afternoon to those of you in GMT time. Good evening to those of you... God, where is it evening? Those of you in the Middle East. Gonna start in about 2 minutes, just making sure we're all cool here. Flying solo today. We're gonna play Waking Mars, which is a game that came out on iOS last year, which I absolutely loved. And it came out on PC late last year with a bunch of cool upgrades, voice acting included. So this should be fun. It's not very long. It's probably about, I think it took me maybe 7 hours. It's actually my top 10 games of the year. When Kevin asked us to put them together, I absolutely loved it. But yeah, we'll get through a good bit of it. 6 p.m. in South Africa. Happy dinner time, South Africa. Alright, that's recording. Cool. As ever, if you guys could be super great and let me know how the audio levels are doing during the stream, that would be the best. A little window into the rest of the week just before we start. I think I'm playing Delta Force tomorrow, the old PC game, first-person shooter. We've also... God, it's so squeaky here. System Shock 2 is also a possibility. I just wanted to mix it up with genres today. We've done too many shooters and stuff. Yes, apologies, Daniel, for picking a game that you haven't completed yet. I'll do my best not to get too far. We're gonna do an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours of Waking Mars. Okay, make sure we're recording. Anything know what happens? We'll go straight in. No silly game.
I have arrived at the Cape
Stop
Lonnie.
talking, game. I need to get back to the start. It's really weird playing a game that has voice acting that you've already completed. It's like seeing a film of a book that you've read. Alright. Just put it there. Cool. Alright, we're good to go. Hello everybody and welcome to Random Encounter, the daily live streaming show on GameSpot where we play a different game every single day of the week. It's crazy. We're eventually going to run out, but for the moment, we're cool. I'm going to mix it up a bit today. We've played a lot of shooters, lots of action games, so today we're going to play sort of a crazy adventure planting game. It's called Waking Mars. Came out last year on iOS devices, early last year, from a crowd called Tiger Style Games. We actually featured it on Secret Code earlier last year, and then it came out on PC just before, I think maybe around September or October, but I haven't played it. PC version's got a bunch of new features. It's got new HD graphics, it's got voice acting, it's also obviously in 16:9, which makes a big difference. And yeah, this will be the first time I've played it on PC. I've completed it, but it's been a while. And fingers crossed, if you like this, you might pick it up for yourself on Steam or on iOS. So yeah, let's crack into this bad boy. There's a lot of voice acting. I'm actually flying solo today as well, so I'll make sure to keep my mouth shut during all the important parts. See, told you it was called Waking Mars.
I have arrived at the cave entrance. Despite the unusual readings, everything appears normal. Amani, what is your status?
Yeah, I've got you, and I'm good here. Art, have you verified the system tests and everything?
Yes.
Then I'm prepared to descend. This begins our historic mission. I am honored to have you as my team.
I knew you'd say something like that, you softie.
We're honored,
Focus on
Lang.
that cave, okay?
They've done up all the pictures of the actors as well. It's quite cool. Yeah, so this is it's a super interesting game. On screenshots and stuff mightn't look too hot, but
Sounds great.
it's very, very unique, painfully unique. So I'm just flying around here with Saj on my jetpack. The deal is that we are exploring the sort of subterranean caverns of Mars for the first time. Kind of reminds me of, I've mentioned this about 1,000 times, kind of reminds me of the Broken Rules game, And Yet It Moves, which was designed using kind of cut out art from pieces of paper that they then scanned in. It's quite similar to that. Oh my god, look at all these Martian plants.
Amani, are you receiving this? I have encountered some of the Zoa.
Congratulations, Leon. You're the first person to make contact with extraterrestrial life.
Yes!
They appear to be
Another
a
game
hell
spot
of the
first.
Same Zoa discovered by a robotic explorer. They are beautiful and strange, but not so unlike plants on Earth.
Yes.
Zoa cannot be classified
I've
as a
frequently
plant.
seen these things on Earth.
True. The movement is more like that of an animal. I wonder if they're aware of me.
Maybe if I stick my finger in one of them, it'll scream. No, can't do it. Alright,
I
so
am holding in my hands a seed from one of the
the
houses.
seeds are the important part of this game, although Art says they cannot be
Don't
classified
worry,
as a
Art.
seed.
It's just a
Basically, you
convenient
spend
way for us
most
to
of the
refer
time
to
in this game collecting
There is further
seeds
terrain
and then
nearby.
planting them
We'll
in
attempt to plant
areas where they can be planted. The combinations of seeds that you pick, where you plant them and stuff, changes the environment, so it's kind of like a puzzle game. Alright, left mouse button to throw. Bam. There you go. Friggin' Mars plants grow real fast. The other thing with these guys is then they will spit out more seeds, so you're kind of encouraged to plant and then water and then plant and then water. Alright.
Amani, there is something troubling to report. One of the cerebrain life forms grows here.
And let me guess. It's covering the entire passage.
These cerebrains are basically the gates
Unless
between
there's
each,
some ancient root.
I guess you could call
Well, you know
them
my theory.
levels
They form
or
airtight seals to
stages.
filter nutrients.
So you have to reach a certain level of biomass in each area, basically of the plant stuff, to make sure these cerebrain walls open up so you can get through to the next section. The thing is that some plants kill other plants. Some plants like spit fire and stuff, which will kill other plants. And then there's a certain limited amount of places where you can plant as well. So basically you combining different plants in different spaces, open them up. This is pretty basic. This is like, you know, as basic as it gets. In later levels, which we'll get to relatively soon, you've got these massive, crazy areas where there's like different types of animals and
Yes,
plants
but I worry planting
or
Zoa
Zoa
will have adverse impact.
freaking out and
Suppose we
interacting
find
with each other.
cerebrain growing extensively.
That seems unlikely. Octo only encountered a couple of them this close to the surface anyway.
Attention! I have discovered a cerebrain in this chamber.
Thanks, Art.
Or maybe things have changed since Octo was here. Well, look.
So Octo was a unmanned drone thing that they put under, they'd sent down earlier, which sent back a lot of, which was sending back information, but then it got lost. So that's why I'm going down to kind of see what happened to it. Yeah. Oh man, this platform's gonna fall apart. Great Gianna Sisters style. So, in the interest of seeing some of the cooler stuff, I'm going to plow through this pretty quickly, if you guys don't mind. Plant. Plant. The other thing about this game, it's probably one of the reasons why I actually completed this in one go on the iPad. I started at about 11 o'clock, and I think it was about 6 in the morning by the time I finished. Soundtrack's great. Soundtrack's really superb, which makes it a lot more enjoyable and easier to play. So I've already managed to plant enough biomass to open up this section. So onward we go. start to see some of the other types of plants that are in this. Then the other thing, of course, this story is obviously a trapping for all these mechanics, but stuff starts to get really weird about halfway through the game.
No such luck. It's not
And
Octo.
yeah, the story is surprisingly,
Wonder why.
I won't say moving, but affecting.
A message.
Oh, I know what's up now. He's leaving behind remote camera modules. Take a look, Leon.
So this is a live transmission of something in the cave. What is it?
Uh-oh, what is
You're the one who
that?
gets to find out. I'll mark your map with the location of the signal.
Ricky Guitarist in the chat has said he saw this on Steam Greenlight. It is out already. Yes, it is. This is actually one of the first games to get greenlit, as it were, on Steam Greenlight. So it's been out for a little while.
Research opportunity.
Amani, we have discovered a new life form. One that even Octo did not
Octo
report.
didn't report this crazy snail
Classified as a
water
sub.
thing.
Collect a portion of it. Foreskin.
Affirmed. I will grab one of those seeds.
I'm gonna get one of these water things. Shoot it at me. Yeah, right in the face. So you can just grab them when they come out. The other thing is that a lot of these animals have limited amounts of seeds that they'll shoot out. Usually about 3 or so. Okay. So I can get more seeds by watering these guys. So now that I've watered them, he's gonna start shooting out more of these things. And then I can plant them to get more biomass. Let's get more water.
Scanning. This Zoa produces large quantities of liquid water. We will call it a hydron.
Hydron.
Attempt to hurdle this at
It's a great name. I wish I was called Hydron. I'm gonna name my son Hydron. Hydron O'Dwyer. And he will be famous for spraying water in people's faces. Press Q and E to select seed, or use the mouse wheel. There's this other kind of interesting aspect to this. If you go into research, it gives you details on all the stuff that you've picked up. This stuff is surprisingly scientifically accurate. It's quite interesting looking at the sort of information that you've learned from it and what can be deduced from it. And it also kind of connects up the different sea Zoa in a way that, I don't know, kind of explains the entire atmosphere of this underground garden in Mars. I was talking to the guys who made the iOS version very briefly last year, and they talked about how much work they actually went into sorting all that stuff out. And they were kind of aggrieved that not many reviewers had picked up on it. You can't really blame them. Could have all just been made up. Alright, let's plant some more green things. Alright, go away. I'm planting.
I theorize that there exists multiple functions for this.
Multiple functions.
Hurdle it not just at other life forms, but also plant it into fertile terrain.
So he's basically telling me if I shoot one of these guys into the green ground, it'll start planting the blue ones. So here's a really basic version of what you can do if you're here. So this guy's going to shoot out those blue bits, and he's automatically going to fire them into these other Zoa down here and basically upgrade them. It's a pretty clever way of just making sure that some activity happens down here, so you're not like manually planting all the time. So if I was to come back, if I was to go away from here and then come back in a little while, there'd be a bunch of seeds down there. In saying that, if we were to plant some of the more messed up animal Zoa that are later in the game, you might come back and see that like the small farm that you planted has actually just been completely eradicated. In fact, where's that guy gone? Oh, so that's the other thing it does. If this fires another blue one into an open planting area, it'll create its own little blue dude. So I think we got enough. Let's keep going. We're still in tutorial mode. Good first 25 minutes of this game is handholdy.
I will now inform you usefully.
Thanks, Art.
Scans report that life forms produce different amounts of biomass. Biomass goes up with every life form created. This is the total. For a Cerebrain to open, total biomass must cross certain thresholds. I have developed this interface for you.
Cheers. Thanks for the interface.
You must create
Protocaps?
This is basically the
yes.
this is basically the win condition of every level in this game now. If you look up in the top right, it says biomass 25 out of 90. So I have to hit 90 to make sure that Cerebrain door opens. So every time I plant one, you can see it's going up by, so we're at 25, up to 40, and up to 55. So 15's coming off each one of those. If I'm to kind of upgrade this Zoa with some water, it'll go up by 5. If I'm to plant one of these guys, I forget, it might go up by 15 again? 10. Okay, so those blue ones are worth 10. So that's basically the idea, is to cross over that. Every time you reach that biomass limit, you get another star, and then it goes to the next checkpoint, I guess, in biomass. I'm just going to upgrade all these bad boys to get more plants. So you only have to cross, I think possibly it's the 3rd star to get the Cerebrain to open, but as a sort of a continuous play thing, a completionist thing, you can fill up to 5 levels of biomass, and then that's full biomass, and I'm not sure if you get anything for it. You probably get some Steam achievements. Let's use some more of these. Ooh. Let's see what's in here. Oh, you. So he's here just in case I didn't have enough of those hydro seeds. One more. Cheers. Okay, let's try and get full biomass here. Oh, hit there. You can die. There is fall damage. I got hit by a stalactite? I can never tell. So I did lose a bit of health. You gain health though through the plants. See all this stuff that's coming off them. Okay, we're nearly at 260 biomass. I need to get another one of these blue pellets. Need a couple more. Tight hangs down. Tight hangs down. Okay. See, I always think I know it because I'll teach myself. Oh yeah, you hold on tight, but then also you can hold on with all your might. So I just confused myself. Stalactite. Okay, so there you go. 260 out of 260. Maximum biomass. Didn't seem to get anything for it. Oh well.
I have discovered a print.
I got
created by
self-respect.
Akito's appendage.
Makes sense. This is right around where we lost contact with him.
Unfortunately, this roof has since collapsed.
Great. Are you gonna head back to the outpost for the digging tools? Those things are amazing. I love them.
Amani, I'm not blocked. There is an open.
Oh, see, because the transmission through all the rock gets static in. Sorry.
Silly Armani.
This area
Armani.
contains
She smells incredible though.
acidic vapors.
Liquids also. Acid appears to be dripping through cracks.
Well, don't touch it. That stuff can damage you and your suit.
Oh man, I better not touch the dropping acid. It's a pretty video gamey part of this video game. Yeah, this stuff kills plants pretty good as well. So the plants that the Zoa rather, that you plant underneath those acid things is it basically influenced by the types of Zoa that are able to survive. Hooray! What's going on down here?
Attention! This is a previously unknown life form of Mars.
Aren't they all previously
This
unknown life forms on
microscopic
Mars?
life form digests minerals in the rock and
If you're joining us, thank you very
excludes
much for
acid
joining
and
us. This is
Colonies
Random
such as
Encounter.
this
Almost forgot the name of the show.
rapidly
GameSpot's
creating
daily live show where we play a completely random game every single day. And today we're playing Waking Mars, game that came out on PC. Yeah, late last year, a couple of months ago.
Temperature, humidity, and pressure.
We're gonna play for about
I guess one of those triggered a growing spree.
maybe 2 hours.
That is
We'll
a
see.
noteworthy
We'll wrap it up in
sequence of events.
an hour and a half or so.
How did it
See how far we get. I'm keeping an eye on the chat every time I can.
I was just thinking out
If you have any questions about this
is a
game,
dead end.
please send them
I
on.
must return the way I came.
Possibly in
what I'm trying
between
to say
levels
is
is
that
when
it's
I'll
been
mostly get a
kinda
chance to check out the chat.
So be careful and stuff.
Yeah, like that.
Some good back and forth between those guys. I have to get out of this chamber. Oh, whoa, whoa! Bunch of earthquakes going on. Can I go down here? I don't think I saw this before. No, this looks dangerous. Oh! Damn it. Let's just get out. Like I said, the music is pretty great in this game. Ruh-roh! I forget where the way is in this one. It's down here. Yeah. What happened to Seb? Nothing happened to Seb. We just had a meeting and I was sitting right across from Seb. I think the guys are doing a live stream on Thursday that he may be involved in. I can't say anything else because I'm not 100% sure if it's under embargo. That'll be Thursday morning GMT, around midnight in the States. Another cool thing about this game is the environments are really great variety. Very varied environments.
But you know, it is getting kind of dangerous down there, so maybe you should just head back instead. Use your map to return to the outpost quickly. We'll regroup and evaluate.
Alright. Gonna go back to the outpost. Gonna go down and check out this bit. This is basically a bit of
This is
the drone that we sent down.
Yes, I assumed it might be.
This is the picture it
Why
took.
did Octo place it here? Was he interested in these basalt columns?
I am acquiring
Basalt?
data from the
I always thought it was
module now.
pronounced basalt.
Data is inconclusive. Octo stopped
This game is tearing down my own reality.
The mystery deepens.
The mystery
For
deepens.
no reason he would stop sending transmissions.
Alright, let's head back to our compound. Whoop. Can I go this way?
Hey, Leon, if you didn't get that you should head back to the outpost. Use the map. It will allow you to travel instantly.
Oh yeah, of course. So yeah, once you've done the levels, you can travel back to them. So this is what we've done already. We've traveled this whole way. When you click on one, you can see what you've done already in terms of biomass. So we maxed out that chamber earlier, 260. This is a 190, 75 and so on. So you can travel to them. So later on, when we start to kind of make our way further down the surface of Mars here, you can travel back whenever you want and max out the biomass. I don't tend to be a completionist in games, but I actually maxed out every chamber in Waking Mars because there's a sort of a secret ending that happens if you do it, and it's well worth checking out. I imagine all that stuff is the same with this. I'm pretty sure they didn't change any of the story
what do you
beats.
think about Leth Cavern?
It is a place taken from a dream. How lucky we are to have been chosen for this mission.
How lucky.
But I am very concerned.
I could
about
have picked
structural integrity.
Rainbow Six
We have
instead.
been reckless.
You're talking about that acid slime? I've got some new data. I noticed it has a distinct chemical fingerprint, so I wrote a little solver to find source locations. I used a second order approximation for the diffusion functions,
What?
which should be accurate enough. You agree?
Sure.
Yes.
So, check this out. This is derived from Octo's report. The slime was already here, even back then. Here's what it looks like now. Even distribution, much higher density.
Look at all that slime.
So
Why
for
is
the
there
past
more
8
slime
months,
now?
slime has been
What's
traveling through
happening
rock
to
and
this
reproducing.
planet?
Burst of activity was caused by my actions today?
Definitely. Turns out it's triggered by compounds the halide release. You grew the halide, the acid started dripping.
Oh man, we broke that rule that the Star Trek guys have about not interfering with alien worlds.
Dissolving away.
Picard is gonna be
Crazy.
pissed.
Ooh, there's more. You remember those strange readings we noticed when we landed?
No.
I used the subsurface shallow radar, and I'm pretty sure this is a body of liquid water. But 8 months ago, it was mostly empty space. Maybe a bit of ice?
Mars is
An
melting.
underground reservoir has simply appeared?
Looks
Alright.
that way.
This is worrisome.
I don't want to ruin this for people who actually want to play the game, so let's just kind of knock ahead of it. Oh my god, it's shaking! Uh-oh. The bubble world. Is this one of the levels from Crysis 3? Is this one of the... I gotta say, I really like the art style in this. Chapter 2. Thankfully, I landed beside one of those health-giving plants.
I have discovered a fact. The cave may be structurally unsound.
You reckon?
Yes, I agree with your findings.
We are too deep to obtain a signal.
It is just us two.
Thank you. I am very abilities. Good news.
I am very
They
abilities for
always
human
and have
dialogue.
suffered without permanent injury.
Is there a passage back to the outpost accessible from here?
Yes, accessible to air particles. A human is too large.
Ah, but I'm a
I will have to
skinny
search for some other way out.
dude.
You no longer contain any protocaps.
Yes, but I can grow my own, starting with just one seed.
That's true.
Confirmed your logic.
Alright. Let's rock and roll. Chapter 2 of Waking Mars. Here on Random Encounter. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Thanks very much for joining me. It's gonna be interesting to see how far we get in this. Alright. Got some seeds. I have to reach a level of 30 biome. What are these things?
Scanning. This organic matter exhibits no current biological activity. It may be a sessile remnant.
A sessile
From a
remnant.
deceased life form.
Hmm.
Yes.
Alright, these guys, the fighter, play a pretty big role in the rest of this game. Da-da-da. Okay, let's plant some stuff. So now that I've
I have received another transmission from Octohar.
These could not be rock formations, could they?
Please note this scale reference. It is likely.
Then these are very large structures.
Alright. Yeah, so now that I've watered that guy, he's spitting them out. And it's already planted 2 ones automatically just because of where it landed. Alright, 120 we have to reach. So I know that these guys give you more biomass. They give you 20 if they're fully formed, whereas the other ones, the blue guys only give you 10 right off the bat. So I'm gonna plant as many of these ones as I can. Uh, 145. I'm not sure. I can't plant those there. Can I? I can. Oh, and these guys have woken up. So they're another type of weird animal plant thing. These guys love picking up seeds though and eating them and bringing them to their caves.
As mentioned, the prior observation regarding organic matter is erroneous. Despite an extensive period of inactivity, this previously unknown life form of Mars is able to exhibit measurable livelihood.
Art, do you have any settings to control the frequency of your dialogue?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
I am currently in normal mode. There is also verbose and terse.
Thank you.
Is that actually? Can I actually do that myself? No. Oh well. So let's see where we are on the map actually, since we fell down the cave. Okay. So 55. It's a very clever game. You will never find yourself in a situation where you are unable to plant anymore or you're stuck. There's always a way out. It's why the more you play and the more game mechanics are revealed, it's why it's becomes so impressive. I think it's an impressive game, just in terms of how that you teach all them, you learn the mechanics effortlessly, and you always feel clever in figuring out how it all works, and it all works. It seems to work without any sort of effort. Like, they seem to have created a believable world in the way the different plants interact with each other. 85. Okay, I'm gonna shoot one of these to... I forget what happens actually. I'm gonna give these guys one of the seeds. So I think if they eat one of these seeds, they lay an egg and a new one comes out. So let's give them some more. Of course, if you feed them the seeds from the fire plant, then they just explode. Which sucks, because they tend to go around your plants where the fire seeds are planted and then explode, killing all the other plants. So herding these guys is a pretty important part of the game. So I need to reach 125. There you go. I could stay there and keep trying to get the biomass up, but in the interests of entertainment, gameplay, let us continue.
Yes. Dr. Rhonda classifies my dialogue module as chatterbox. Also, is this the classification of Dr. Key?
You need not
Hey
be
everyone in the
concerned,
chat,
Doc.
you got any questions, send them on.
Inquiry is resolved.
I'll try keep an eye every time I get to a kind of a level checkpoint. Pretty obvious questions are, what is this game and where can I get it? It's called Waking Mars. It's available on Steam. Don't know the price off the top of my head. It's probably under a tenner. If somebody in the chat could shoot it up there, that'd be much appreciated. Oh, okay, so here's an interesting one. So this area here, if I plant any of the plants I currently have there, it's just gonna die. So there are special plants that are able to resist the acid wear, and here they are.
This protocat contains a new alert. Scans suggest it. See the research log for more data.
So he's pointing me towards this research thing that I was talking about earlier. So mostly research dependent. You also get you unlock stuff for completing the research on any one piece of photo. Or Zoa, sorry. So seed. Determine how to plant the seed newly discovered Zoa seed. Scans indicate a preference for acidic environments. So 1, 2, 3. Now, research updated, so if I go back in, I've already learned quite a bit. So the research pending, things have switched to these ones, and then from these I can tick the boxes based on what it says. So determine what causes Praxoa to produce Prax seeds. So how I can make more of these. It could be water, it might be some other abstracting to do. Diet, determine the complete list of objects that Praxoa will consume, and so on. So if I look back at some of the old ones I've done, I actually haven't maxed out any of them yet. So as you continue throughout the game, you'll constantly be fed more objective. Oh, sugar, I forgot these guys attack you as well. But I got 2 health left, 3 health left. Yeah, so you're constantly, you've got the missions to obviously get out of each level, but you're constantly being fed more and more kind of mini objectives that you can take on if you want it. And like I said, if you keep doing it and eventually get to the... If you keep doing it and eventually get to the point where you're at the end of the game, if you fill them all in, you get a much better ending. Not a better ending, but the game stops at a certain point and it won't kind of finalize until you get all the research data and max out your biomass. Alright, let's get past this guy. I think I'll just fly past him. Alright, this is more like it. When do Bloodford's guides return? The call to escape from is stupid now. Have been for quite a while, but I take your point. EFMS will be back, I imagine in February, but probably closer to the end. I'm going to be doing a lot of live streaming for the next month. This is the first show, which is on at 4 o'clock GMT, and there will be a second show starting next week, which will be starting at back off, about 7 o'clock GMT. So lunchtime in the States. Go away! I hate these things. Oh, I'm in trouble. Go up here, go up here. Do I get health off these guys? I don't. Alright, so these guys will eat the water things if I throw them at them. Which is handy, I guess. But I'll be honest, I kind of wish I wasn't stuck here. So let's make a plant that'll get my health back up. That is a lot of live streaming for one office. But I play a lot of video games at home, and doesn't make much sense for me to be doing that when I could actually be sharing them with the wider world, especially when it's kind of cool stuff like this. Why the hell not? Yeah, you probably will reach Daniel Dwyer's saturation point. If that does happen, please let me be the first one to know. Go away, go away, go away! Go away! It's genuinely stressful. Ouch. Okay, where am I supposed to go? Top right. Dodgy, dodgy, dodgy. Dodge, 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 dodge. Should be one at the top here. And onwards we go.
Praxoa are the most dangerous life form we've encountered so far.
Please be wary. Of the known Zoa, Prax contribute the most biomass and are the only Zoa that grow in acidic terrain.
So that's an interesting thing. These Prax ones are obviously pretty dangerous, but they're also the ones that give you the most biomass. So there's a risk-reward thing going on there. And they're the only one that can be planted on the acidic plant areas. Later on, you will figure out ways of changing what plant areas, changing the plant areas themselves. Which can be quite handy. This is an interesting bit now where if I plant this guy, I'm going to get biomass from it, but he's going to attack these other dudes. And I think that's where the seeds come from. We'll see now. Yeah, it's going to eat that dude. Well, we got a seed out of it. Is that it? You dormant now. So it's probably in my best interest to basically shepherd this guy into that guy, or rather plant one up here and then shepherd him into that. All right, no, don't go that way. Yeah. Come on. There you go. All right, so the Cerebrain's already opened, but I want to see if I can get another seed out of this guy. Hello.
Art, what are these structures?
They are an order of Zoa characterized by extreme largeness. We will call them
Megazoa. Yeah, alright, that makes sense.
They are alive.
Yes. These Megazoa feature extraordinary.
Danny, would you like to take over top 5 Skyrim mods of the week?
Attempt to scan their interior for more data.
It's actually one of the possible things I was thinking of doing for the evening live stream was some sort of weird Skyrim thing. I would definitely want to take over that one. That's GameSpot US joint, GameSpot Prime joint. It'd be a bit weird having that show without John Davison or Sean McInnes on it. It's a great show. I think it's probably one of the most I think it probably is the most popular show that we did last year. You look at YouTube, that thing went That thing went mental. Bloody hilarious too. Oh, there's so many acid things here. Acid jerks. We gotta reach 235 biomass. I'm gonna have to sacrifice so many of these little weird crab things. No, come on. Go for it. There you go. There you go. Eat them. Eat them. Eat them. Ugh, they're weird. I don't like the way they jump. There, yeah, go. Just a little bit more. There you go. Eat them. Eat them. There you go. There you go. Alright. I believe if I go over here... Maybe I can't get into it yet, but one of these Megazoa you can actually go into. And forms a pretty important part of this game. Maybe I can't get in yet. Can I crawl through there? Yeah! Way to go! Science man. Here we go. We are inside the Zoa.
I have completed scanning this Calamitosea. These Megazoa, the Calamitosea.
Yeah, I don't really care right now.
These Calamitosea also contain extremely long root-like organs, which appear to
So
have
as you go through the
prehensile
game and you
properties.
see more of these sort of big Zoa, this map starts to expand and make more sense. This water pile, all that stuff. The kind of secrets that are all here all begin to show themselves. And I gotta say, it's pretty cool. Like, the actual stuff that happens in this game and the story, it's pretty unique and surprising. I've got enough biomass for here. I'm not really too interested in maxing it out in here at the moment, so I'm gonna take these plants and move on to the next section. We're still nowhere near reaching all the plants. Like, there's a bunch of plants. Or, I keep saying plants. What are they called again? Is it Zoa? Yeah. There's a bunch of Zoa to see and explore. It's just these little dudes. Take us down this way. Crawly, crawly, crawly. Put your seeds inside the Megazoa. No way. I'm not storing my seeds. I'm not no squirrel. Uh-oh. // So this is one I can pass through. Sounds pretty windy. Oh.
Leon, you read me? Not another phantom signal.
Amani, I am here.
Leon? Is that really you?
She looks happy. Look at those teeth. Look at those pearly whites.
Wow.
I don't look so
I mean, of course, I knew nothing like a silly little enormous destructive cave-in would be enough to kill you.
What is the situation?
Why is he
The
Superman?
outpost is just gone. Here's the deal. The surface conditions are too hostile for that suit you're wearing. So, travel through the cave to get here. Hopefully, it actually connects.
So I must climb deeper into left cavern.
Yeah, no. You probably have 24 hours of life support left.
Uh-oh.
The cave is more extensive than we assumed. The GSA says you can continue pursuing safe research.
Did you see the area I just passed?
Yeah, I'm uploading your data now. Covered in cilia?
Alright, so basically I need to kind of spend the next little while going down through the caverns so I can get down to where she is in the base of this Martian valley. Way. That was fun. Back in the cave, boy.
Art? What can you tell?
It is a genus of this genus.
These guys are
the
special
friendly
Cerebrain, which kind of
seeds
block out the
protecting the cave from
outside
hostile surface
atmosphere from
conditions.
in here. Alright, on we go. So, currently we're down here. Made quite a distance in the past 45 minutes from up there. She is down here, so we're gonna have to make our way down here past the water and into this kind of tougher rock formation. Welcome if you just joined us. This is Chapter 3 of Waking Mars. on Random Encounter, GameSpot's daily live show. We play a new game every single day. It's 24 hours, different game. What game are we playing in the next 24 hours? Honestly, don't know yet. If you have any suggestions, stick them in the chat. I'm doing the rest of the week. I'm preparing them later today. So if you have any ideas, send them on, tweet them to me at Daniel Dwyer, or send them, put them in the chat or the comments in either the live streaming at the end, or it's got an achievement, or in the highlights reel on GameSpot or YouTube the following day, because I'll read all those comments too. We've got a highlights reel for yesterday's one, Mafia, coming up today. I gotta be honest, I think we're gonna redo Mafia at some stage in the future, because that game did not come across as well as it should have in the first couple of hours. It's not perfect, it's still not as good as it was by any shadow of a doubt. Especially open world games have changed, but I'm gonna give it a bit of a fairer swing. Oh, go away! That's nice. Oh, give me that seed. Just running into those now. Give me that back. So it's always good to plant at least one water one, just so you can keep upgrading your other ones. This red patch is a new one we haven't seen yet. This is where the sort of the lava Pokemon are made. That guy tried to rob that seed. Where the lava Zoroark get planted. So now this is interesting. If this guy is going to start shooting out seeds on his own, which this guy will try and eat, and also these lads will as well, which means that they'll just keep producing offspring. So if I shoot one in there and then upgrade it with the water one, we come back in a little while, this whole place will either be full of seeds or full of loads of those dudes. Let's get some more water. Upgrade these guys. So this guy's eating those seeds as well. Not sure what happens when he does, or he just throws them away. Cerebrain's open. What the hell is this thing?
Yes, we will call them Alveolopiridae.
Alveolopiridae. I would have called it
There are several types of fighters.
Steven.
They are activated.
Are these the
The full list has measurable overlap with compounds released by mature Zoa and Phyta.
More 10-year-old incredibly difficult PC games. You know what? I think
The activated
the reason
fibers
I'm kind of doing Waking Mars is to maybe open it up a bit, because I have a feeling that I'm basically going to spend most of this series playing the games I grew up playing, which is, you know, 1995 to 2005 PC era first-person shooters and action games. Because there's so many. Like, we're definitely, Kingpin was great to do. Definitely going to do Rainbow Six Rogue Spear in the next couple of weeks. You know, Unreal Tournament and Quake 3, stuff like that.
required for inefficient movement.
Yeah, I'm gonna mix it up today with a bit of Waking Mars. What the hell is going on here? Like I said earlier about the varied environments. So I don't think I can plant in that one, can I? Oh, I can. Oh yes, I forgot about that. Sorry, these red ones aren't the lava one. They create kind of super versions of all the other Zoa.
Hey, Leon.
Hello, Amani. I have discovered a deep vertical shaft.
Yeah, he discovered a deep vertical shaft.
Yeah, sure looks that way. Crazy.
We found more traces of Octo, but also evidence that his limbs were damaged.
His limbs.
What?
Robots have limbs.
I really. Oh. Octo
I
has
don't
a
know.
subroutine
Any
where he
roboticists
plants
in the
3
chat?
feet and extends the other 5 limbs
Rainbow
for
Six
long
3 is the
range
best in the series.
The shaft is a
Oh, it's
perfect place.
I don't
since
know.
it channels
I'm not saying
signals
you're
so well.
wrong. Everyone's got their own opinion, but
Unfetched.
That art.
oh man, I got a special place in my heart for Rainbow Six Rogue Spear.
Reasons he would scan like that.
And that first game, you go back and play that first Rainbow Six, it is weird. It is much more difficult than you remember. I remember that first level took me like a week to complete or something. That embassy level. Oops, damn it, I didn't mean to do that. Give me that one back. Come back here. Thank you. What the hell is this? Ah, I remember this. Not yet. Water. Plant. And see if we can get that one over there. I remember coming back to this area when I played it on the iPad and just finding seeds everywhere. This guy, if you touch that, you'll get stuck in it and it'll try and eat you. Where are we going on the map? There's that big shaft. So let's try and find that water. Let's go down to the left and see what that water area is all about. Delta Force? Yeah. Delta Force is a good shout. Might do Delta Force tomorrow. Delta Force is a weird game. If you never played it, it's really weird. It uses voxels instead of pixels. Around that time, voxels were kind of hot. They're like, God, they're like 3D polygon kind of, or 3D, because they're 3 sides. Maybe they're 4-sided. Maybe that's what the thing was. But it's this weird way of trying to render long distances using, you know, not much power.
I've been checking out all this data you collected.
And I remember that game had a turbo button. If you hit H, the graphics, like, it was almost like anti-aliasing just clicked on.
Art says you like being alone, but if you ever feel like chatting about the cave or whatever, stand still for a moment at the top of this quartz peak. We don't have to chat, but I'd like to.
Alright, let's chat with her. This is optional chat, so it's not pertinent to the game, so let's see what she brings up.
Just before the outpost collapsed, you were saying something like the Cerebrain's purpose is to force us to grow life forms in every chamber?
The Cerebrain have no purpose, Amani. They simply have evolved survival mechanisms that have led to the perpetuation of their species.
This is where some of the most interesting stuff happens in Waking Mars. The sort of, it seems like it's a subtext while you're playing it, and then once you get to the end, you realize that there actually is a sort of end revelation if you put the time into 100%, all the sort of mini objectives in the game. It's not that long either. Like you can quote unquote complete like most of the primary objectives in about, I don't know, 5 to 7 hours, depending on how long you play through it. But then there's an extra like 3 hours maybe of going back and kind of 100%ing all the different caverns. And like I said earlier, I'm not a massive completionist, but I did it in this game. I was compelled to, and it was definitely worth it. Oh my God! It's like Avatar. Where's Jake Sully? Look at all this water. Look at this weird plant. It's like a spider's leg. I forget how you activate these guys. You water them? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, they shoot out these weird things which float upwards, and you have to corral them into those.
I have generated an assumption. You wish to know whether these are...
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yes. Are these...
Yes. This species does not generate...
So all of the water flowing out of this plant...
Yes. It is drawn up through the stems of the...
So the water's coming from somewhere underneath us, so that's where we are at the moment. Temperwolf says, this cast should be about obscure games a lot of people haven't played. You really should stop recommending games either everyone has played or you were sure too young to miss 2000. I don't necessarily think that's true. It's a fair point. I think I'd like to try and keep it to obscure Obscure is a strong word. Maybe not obscure, but good games that perhaps have been forgotten is another good one. But I don't mind, you know, we'll try and keep it away from the stuff. I'm assuming there are people in the chat talking about things like Minecraft and Call of Duty. Like, I've got another live stream that's going to start in the next week in the evening time, which will possibly step into maybe more new release territory. But that shouldn't stop you from suggesting. So if, you know, if people want to go back and play Halo 1 maybe, or Halo 2, God knows, soon enough we're going to be at the point where Halo 3 is an old game. So, but yeah, suggest anything you want. If enough people suggest something that is maybe traditionally what this show isn't for, if enough people ask it, then, you know, why not? Every game's a new game, so the worst thing that can happen is we waste one episode on something dumb. That's gonna happen anyway, you know. Like, that Mafia one yesterday probably wasn't the best use of 90 minutes, but we live and learn. This is only the first full week we've done of the show. Did a series on Halo 1? I did. I did Escape from Main Stupid on Halo, actually. I think it was Bluffer's Guide back then. On Halo. Man, I was so excited for Halo when it was coming out on PC. I was heartbroken when Microsoft decided it was a 360 only. Like, crestfallen. It was. I remember it was on like the front page of PC Gamer, like, and then the next month they said it wasn't coming out in PC anymore. Like, it was crazy. The game wasn't even a first-person shooter when it was first announced. It was this weird kind of real-time strategy game where you kind of like something like Commandos, where you seem to control maybe like a really tight-knit group of dudes. So for it to go through all that and then not come out on PC was an absolute killer.
It is as I suspected. The camera is pointing at fossilized life forms. What are these markings?
The two games you suggested already. What were the two games you suggested already? So that's two. Somebody mentioned a great one to me last night on Twitter, which was Tenchu Stealth Assassins. That is, I've got a PlayStation 1 at home. I brought over from Ireland over Christmas. I'm gonna have to look up a copy of Tenchu Stealth Assassins. That game was bloody great. The one good Tenchu game, I think, is a fair comment to make as well. Right, can I water this one? No. So this one's, these get the super one. So it's 15 normally for one of these green ones, and if you plant it there, you get 40. So that's the difference. And they automatically grow into the full ones that give you health as well. I forget what happens if I shoot one of those in there. Just eats it, does it? It eats it and it closes it up. So I guess that's where the benefit is there. Boom. These guys are eating. Sorry, you keep eating. Oh, what happened there? He got crushed by a piece of falling stalagmite, right? No, tight. It's tight, isn't it? It's tight. Stalactite. See, I just can't help myself. I've resigned to the fact that I will never know. I'll never be fully confident of my ability to decide if something is a stalagmite or a stalactite. I wouldn't mind, but I probably spent more of my youth in caves than most people as well. There's lots of caves in Ireland. We used to have a family house near the caves. If you've seen that episode of Father Ted where they go into the caves, I've been in those caves like easily a dozen times. The Albee Caves in Clare. That tour is about 15 minutes long. Okay, where are we? 360 biomass we need. This is when it starts getting tricky. This is quite a large area. There's a lot going on. There's lots of interaction. So these guys are down here. If they crawl up here, they can get eaten by this guy, which is actually what I'm going to try and make happen. So I'm going to throw down a couple of seeds here so those guys keep reproducing. I'm gonna drag these guys up here. So this guy eats one and then has an egg. So then I can, or seed, and I can plant that seed there. Don't go in the lava. Damn it. So those guys died. So while I was waiting, these guys kept reproducing. We've opened this up, so I'm gonna keep going. But